What's happening, everybody, and welcome back to Streamcast, the show where we watch the latest and greatest streaming stuff on streaming services.
Just keep going.
The stuff on streaming services with you guys. What's happening? I'm one of your hosts, Eddie, along with my bro, the inverted gamer himself, Sheps. This intro was horrible, but I'm hoping everyone laughs at me.
It's not going on our channel, so it's fine.
Oh yeah, that's true.
It was the first one you did was better than that.
It was, wasn't it? Twice. Yeah. Okay, it's never gonna work out. I'm totally not gonna nail it. Let's just go with this one.
Going with it.
How are you doing, bro?
I'm doing great.
Yeah?
Because WandaVision was everything we expected of it. All of my theories were correct.
Yes, they were.
Which there's video evidence of that.
Yes.
And now we're coming into Winter Soldier. Well, Falcon and Winter Soldier. I put it in the order that I prefer them in. Not that Falcon's bad, but I'm just in love with like the Captain America
exactly Yeah, I mean, who really likes Falcon anyway?
Well, you're racist. That's really what it is.
Yeah, I thought,
wait, was this not a private chat? God damn it, it's on the internet.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of thought that went without saying, which is why I didn't say it.
Exactly.
It was like, obviously because of the racism.
Exactly. Speaking of racist, let's introduce our guest.
Okay, well, there's zero.
Nailed it.
There's zero evidence of that.
Like there was any evidence before, but there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, our guest today, TylerTynamite. How you doing, my bro? Thank you for joining us.
I'm doing very well. Happy to be here, of course, to talk about my boys. That's that's why I'm up at 6 a.m. To do podcasts. It's not because I like you guys. It's because I love Captain America and my boy Sam and Bucky. So here we are.
That's true.
To be honest, the benefits for you were twofold. One, we're talking about the biggest show you've probably been looking forward to forever. And also, it's just an excuse for you to do another podcast. We know the truth, okay?
No, it's true. No, I do love podcasts. There's no doubt about that. And I love Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So it's a double whammy here. The only downside is it sort of adds to one because -1 for being here with you guys. And that's just what it is.
Here we go.
It's just what it is.
Professional arrangement. No one wants to be here.
It's true.
None of us like
That's
each
true.
other,
It's
right?
true. I know Sheps doesn't want to be in a room with Eddie, but things are the way they are.
That's just the way the cookie crumbles, okay?
It do be that way. Before we get any further, this show, the flagship show on the FPN,
yes,
as well as all of our incredible content on our channel, both of our channels actually, is brought to you by our incredible Super Bros over on patreon.com/conversations. Who do we have to thank?
We have Diogo Dildo, Isak the Ultimate Comsok, Carol to Rivia, aka Catsper the Friendly Patron, Record Friction, Dan the Man, Jeremy Renner, that's right, an official Avenger, Martin Scorsese's Master H Barts 12, the Midget Aloy from Smallville, Sabine, the former freeloader Christian, Master Chief himself, Albiscori, Super Sus Ben Fryer, who is a clone of Eddie. I can't get it. I'm gonna try, but I need to increase my lung capacity, and I don't know how you do that. As maybe evolve, I don't know, something like that. Super Sus Ben Fryer, who is a clone of Eddie, the Star Wars Encyclopedia, Adam Sunling, and Raj Vanderlin. He's got a plan, guys. You just need to follow him on one last job. Are you okay though? What's going on?
I just realised I'm not wearing my super awesome t-shirt. I'm just in a t-shirt.
You're just gonna throw it on now. Go for it. Go on, do it. Just make sure you don't show nipples, because that's YouTube. They don't like that.
Yeah, we're not.
To be fair, it's not our channel.
Girls. Oh yeah, frick them, innit?
Exactly, it's not our channel, so you could just do that. There you go. Yeah, thank you, bro, so much for keeping the lights and mics on the streaming services going here, and thank you everybody for your support. It's really great.
I can't hear Tyler, and actually this show's suddenly improved like 10 times.
You've just taken out your headphones,
Yeah,
so do you know, I wish I could do the same. I wish I could do the same, honestly.
So look, Falcon and Winter Soldier.
Yes.
The last time we had this frickin' cunt on,
yes,
it was for WandaVision, and he was of the opinion like, I'm just excited to see it, and I don't have any theories. And I'm in the exact same boat. I don't have any theories yet. I'm sure I'll make a bunch that are all great and are completely wrong. Completely wrong. But I don't have an opinion. Like, I think Anthony... Is it Anthony or Antony?
I think
Anthony.
It's Anthony, yeah.
I think Anthony Mackie is absolutely capable of being a leading man, which I didn't think until Altered Carbon Season 2. The only good thing in that show was him. Season 1's so good, but he was brilliant. He carried it, like, hard. I'm surprised he can walk. The amount of weight that was on that man's back. So he can be a leading man. And Bucky has the Captain America, like the absolute Captain America tie-in, and the vibranium arm, and like superpowers and stuff. So I think we're set. They're both quality actors, great characters, but I have no idea what's going to happen.
You don't know where the story is going, right?
And I'm curious if Nerdy McNerd Captain America, like he's been all about Captain America's ass before it was America's ass.
Yeah.
He was all about Cap's
true.
ass, right?
It's true, yeah.
I'm curious if you have any theories about what the show's where it's gonna go.
I mean, I have lots. None in the sense of like what if there's going to be some wild, crazy shit that happens. If you know what I mean, plot twists and stuff. I mean, I certainly have my idea of where the character arcs are going to go. You know, because it's a lot of returning. We're in the Captain America world in space right now. This is like a Captain America solo film, but there's no Captain America in it. Like, that's what we're dealing with in terms of the characters, the ramifications, the geopolitical background that we're dealing with, and the action sequences we're dealing with, the humor we're dealing with. And we're dealing with his two side guys, his sidekicks, his two best mates as our leading men. And we've got so many returning characters. Zemo, the villain from Civil War. We've got... bloody George St. Pierre, the French pirate from Winter Soldier. Yeah. Sharon Carter's back. There's a lot of returning characters from the Captain America universe.
That one girl from Solo.
Oh yeah, the one girl from Solo. I didn't know I didn't know where she was from until you said, "Oh, that's that girl from Solo," and I was like,
I still don't know what you're talking about.
So the girl with the I don't know.
I'm gonna say mixed.
No, he's pretending like it was me. Like I don't know who he's talking about.
Cool. Yeah, that chick,
the gingerhead chick. That was really funny. In case you guys didn't know as well, we should have mentioned this maybe at the beginning, because there's nothing to watch at the moment on services.
The content you're getting.
With this episode is going to be all about our hype and our thoughts and what we expect from Falcon Winter Soldier going into the next big show from Disney.
I feel like we should have conned them a bit, knowing that it was just the three of us, unless they thought we had like secret access to the episode. No one's going to pay attention to just us three, innit?
Actually, we've watched episode 1. Guys, it's amazing. Let me tell you all the spoilers.
So look, Bucky's an android.
Yeah, so okay, the
Tyler,
latest trailer came up.
The first 10 seconds of this trailer.
The latest trailer came out, right? It came out literally 7 hours before we went live on this this recording. For those of you guys watching, it's the final trailer, says Disney right here. And
because it's coming out in a day and a half.
Well, I don't know. That's what they say. You never know. It's probably the last one. And it says in the first 10 seconds, Bucky says some words.
He speaks.
I didn't notice this, but Sheps did. And he sounds very androidy.
He sounds weird.
Hang on, let me have a listen.
Have a little listen. Have a little listen.
A little bit of dead air for you guys, but you know it's coming.
I'm going to remember 35 minutes. Okay, I'm going to remember to put the clip over. It's going to pause for us in a second so you guys can hear it as well.
That shield represents a lot of things to a lot of people.
Yeah, okay.
What's going on here?
Yeah. So, did you hear it, Tyler?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, bear with me. During WandaVision. For Streamcast, I came out with these really well thought out theories, how they would fit into the show, and like how you would do it for a storytelling mechanic. Ed, I didn't say they were correct. I said they were good theories.
I didn't think they were thought out or correct or good.
Ed, on the other hand, just the first thing that came off the top of his head, just said it out loud. It's like word association. Like, you say blue, he says red. You say show, he says dumb ideas. That kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And so now I'm changing it up. Instead of trying to figure out the story and like see where it would go from storytelling, because I could do storytelling. Me and Tyler have the ultimate Vader movie combined, right?
Yeah, true.
Right, because we're storytelling masters.
Yeah.
Sorry, sorry. I didn't mean.
That's the
sorry,
nice thing Sheps ever said to me.
I'm very sorry. I didn't mean to just. That was sorry. Continue. Go ahead. Yes.
But instead, because I was completely wrong for WandaVision, and you're just mind diarrhea worked. I'm just gonna say the dumbest shit I can think of, and it's gonna stick. Bucky's an android, and the real Bucky is taking over because we didn't see Captain America's face, right? The real Bucky is taking over Captain America. Even if we see that Captain America, actually Bucky underneath, the real Bucky. There you go. But that's the theory. We'll see.
So what you're saying is that we should title this episode Bucky is
calls.
an android and is impersonating Captain America, and we're gonna have like
the real
a
Bucky is
Terminator
impersonating
face under the mask of Captain America's helmet. That was
The real Bucky is being Captain America. The Bucky that we're seeing is the android.
right.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's just
it.
the worst idea I can think of. It'll be 100% true.
There we go. There
Or
we
it
go.
won't. And regardless, if it isn't correct, you'll see this again at the end of the thing. It'll just be edited in this awful theory. And if it's right, it will just never see the light of day.
There we go. Tyler, did you think anything of that weird sounding voice, or did you not think it was weird at all?
No, it was nothing. It was just a edit. It was two different lines edited together, so it sounds fucking weird.
Yeah, Tyler's a
Because he
fucking
says
moron.
that shield, and then means a lot of things to a lot of people, but it cut away because he didn't say that in that shot. That's all it is. It's just one of those.
Nah,
There's lots of it in all these Falcon Winter Soldier promos. There's so many of those cuts with Bucky saying shit.
It's not just shit
it's
ADR. It's not
this
just
is
shit ADR, for sure.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
100% facts, he's an android. Called it here. You're welcome.
So we just that's going to be his running theory, much
I'm gonna
like
say no matter
much like
what.
Hydra. It's going to go all the way through.
I'm telling you, you're an idiot. You didn't see all the Hydra things. It's coming up in this one. They set it up in one division. Hydra's coming back. Called it now.
I'll let
Bucky's
you-
a
Yeah.
Hydra
I mean,
android.
I wouldn't be surprised if Hydra comes back because this is Captain America's.
I was going to say this
Well-
is where a Hydra theory could make
Yeah.
some sense.
Right.
Okay.
I've been calling it since the show before this one. That's how I'm gonna. No matter what, that's how I'm spinning this PR campaign.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying.
I have to
see
say
what
I
you're
don't have a bold theory like your one over there. I'll call it bold for now. I won't. Absolutely, it's a fucking idiot. No, bold
Wait until
theory.
2035 and something comes out that I can loosely connect to this, and I'll be like, mate, 15 years ago, freaking called it.
I called this in you when you're in your walker and whatnot. I don't have a bold theory like that. I did think it was weird though. I did hear the sound and I was like, but then also later on in the trailer, there is also that weird sounding voice as well.
Yeah.
And I just thought twice is a bit too coincidental, but it could just be nothing and we're just plucking at straws. But the reason why I'm plucking here is because the showrunners, they came out publicly on Twitter and they said that the theories are going to be even more wild for Falcon and Winter Soldier than they were for WandaVision.
Wow, are they trying to get people to watch the show? That's crazy.
You know what? He just completely disarmed my thoughts
That's
right
a
there.
good point.
That's a
Fuck
good
is this
point.
guy?
That's a good point. Wait, they're just trying to get people excited to watch the show? Yeah, that's a fucking good point right there.
And
That's a
let's
good
be
point.
honest,
Yeah.
we were never misdirected by people's comments in the last one, like the amazing cameo.
The amazing cameo at the end of WandaVision.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
that Paul Bettany set up. Yes. That was.
So like we were never misdirected. So yeah, I mean, definitely going to be the wildest show Disney ever puts out.
Seeing as we're just before
I
we go.
really think this is going to be the show with way less plot twists. Like I
agree.
maybe there are, but like I'm not. It's not going to be anything we could think of before we
don't
start
see it as that
seeing
kind of
the
show.
show
It's gonna
and
be
where the
similar.
plot's going.
Yeah,
and it'll
it's-
be plot twists within the plot that's set up at the start of the show, not anything that's set up beforehand. If that makes sense. Like
It's going to be the real baddie plot twist stuff.
yeah, exactly. Because and it'll be this US agent, this Captain America remake guy the government's trying to do. He's going to end up being quite a big bad, even though at the start he'll just be a regular nice guy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like he'll probably see it as like that. This is my time. This is my
the
thing,
Hayward.
and then fucking that arsehole he'll pull a gun on a kid, and then
Yeah.
so I don't see how this could have those kind of theories and whatnot, especially because no one has like real proper superpowers. It's more like really cool guys with maybe gadgets.
Bucky's legit super serum.
Yeah, not in the same way, but yeah, I get what
He's
you mean.
not magic.
It's not magic.
Yeah,
Like you can, like Wanda can literally create anything with her mind. So you kind of like, okay, we can have all these wild theories and whatnot. We can literally pull anything out of our ass, and it's possible it could happen.
Well, that's a
In
good
this
point.
universe.
Yeah, fair enough.
In this universe, it's like, okay, we have to be kind of rooted in reality, and I
Like,
think that's
the
kind of
laws
what people
physics still apply. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
The people want that from Falcon and Winter Soldier because they love that so much from Captain America. I will say one thing as well. Whatever happens with this show or any show or anything like that, just a quick tangent. The Marvel subreddit On our show, I don't know.
Yeah.
The Marvel subreddit will accept anything that happens no matter what. You know, ever since the Ralph Boner situation, that completely was ridiculous.
Tyler, you're up to date on WandaVision, right? You've seen it all, yeah?
Yeah.
The Ralph Boner situation, every day now I go over there and I see a thread and it's like, so here's why the Ralph Boner thought process and everything was actually a very good idea and actually executed perfectly. Here's my reasons why. And I'm like, oh my God.
No.
Oh my God.
No.
It's like, shut up.
That's not a thing.
Yeah.
That's not a thing.
So let's forget all about that.
Yeah.
Let's have our thoughts on what we want, what we expect, maybe, and where we'd like to see Anthony Mackie's character, the Falcon, and what's Steve Barnes' name? Guy's name again?
Bucky Barnes.
No,
Bucky Barnes.
The actor.
Winter
I
Soldier.
said Anthony Mackie.
Oh, Sebastian
and then I said,
Stan. Sebastian
fucking
Stan.
moron. This is what I'm dealing with, guys. Sebastian Stan. There we go. Where we think their characters will go, or we hope to go at the end of this. Tyler? I'll let you take it away because people really they want to hear your thoughts as the Captain America guy.
Right. Okay. I mean, for Sam's character, when we met him, the reason Steve connected to him so much was their similar backgrounds and experiences, and they could relate through loss that they'd experienced as soldiers, and Steve was going through, reconnecting with this new world that he lives in, and Sam was someone that had familiar experience. He had lost a best friend. He was a soldier that he'd lost his best friend, in combat, and I do expect to find out a bit more about that backstory as well.
I hope so.
Could be a character, it could be something.
Anthony Mackie scenes in that movie, by the way, super underrated. The conversation with Captain America, huge for that movie. No one seems to care. I mean, I get it that you got Captain America and a dude flying a wingsuit, but like,
the focus is very much on him. So I see what you mean. But
I mean, I love it. It's like, but I love every scene from The Winter Soldier. It's my favorite superhero movie of all time. So
it's one of the best.
Yeah. So the development of Sam's character throughout this show was, the most loyal right hand to Cap. Anything Cap did, he's always like, I'm right there. Yeah. The last lines of Winter Soldier, he's like, you don't have to come with me. He's like, I know. When do we start? Like, he's just always there. Civil War, he's always by Steve's side. So he's that loyal soldier, that loyal partner to Steve. And, what they had in common was Sam always believed in who Cap was and what Cap represented. And Sam was, an example of that.
Yeah.
Was an example of that, and represents the Shield as well as Steve could. So, it made sense that more than anything for Sam to get that shield at the end of Endgame. And when that happened, I was like, oh my God, this is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
And, heading into this show, what to me I want to see in the show is the transition into Captain America. And it's not going to be the same Captain America that Steve was, but it's one that is needed at this time period of the world. Steve was the Captain America in 1945 and represented that old tradition. The good man, and Sam is that, but he's also got that modern flair and edge to him, and that's where his humor comes in as well. So I sort of think that he's got to come into his own in that way, and a bit more as a leader, because he's not listening to someone else anymore, and he's not in the Avengers anymore, and he's not Cap's right hand. He's on his own, and he's with Buck now, but they're equal partners, co-workers, as they say.
Co-workers, not partners.
Exactly. And there's a lot that Sam's gonna have to wrestle with in this. One is becoming a leader. The others finding common ground with Buck, and they're friends, but they're not close friends. They're just associates through Steve, but they're Steve's two best friends from different times. So it's about them really, using that common ground to connect in that way, and of course, Sam's going to have the by the looks of it, shield confiscated probably through the Sokovia Accords by the US government.
Yeah.
And then end up, publicly becoming that representation again himself, through defeating some sort of terrorist plot, world-ending event, you know, as you do.
As you do,
of
course.
And you know, sort of finding his own feet in that way. And I'm not sure how it's going to be done because, you know, there's no Avengers anymore, so there's no big public, here's the mantle for you. It's got to just be more the mantle for himself to accept and own and come to on his own. It's like I can't imagine, like, how does he get some big uniform, you know, at the end? Is there going to be some big reveal like you had with Scarlet Witch at the end of WandaVision? Will there be that I'm in the cap suit moment with my wings and shield moment? Will that happen? I don't know.
I think they're making the Captain America that's in the trailer, the one that's clearly an imposter,
the US agent,
the one they're trying to like pitch us so you can give people hope and whatnot. His suit has a little bit more, in my opinion, a little bit more red dashes in there, a bit more than what Captain America used to have. And I think, at least I think, I can't remember where I saw this. Maybe it was comics, maybe someone brought it up as just like an image somewhere or fan art or something like that. And it was a variation on the Captain America suit, but with some red dashed in there for Falcon, right. And he had his wings as well as the shield and whatnot and stuff like that. It was a lot more red than it was blue to signify some sort of difference, so it's not just the same character again.
Right.
I think.
Well, Falcon's also red, you know. Like
it's true. Actually, that's it.
He's a red guy.
Exactly. So I'm thinking maybe they're trying to like ease that transition. So it's like the next thing will be he gets his suit and it goes a little bit more red than it is already, and then he'll have his suit going on there.
An issue with getting too much red with Captain America because one of his big bads is Red Skull.
Yes,
that's not too much red or black.
Luckily, that was a long time ago, and a lot of people have forgotten about him.
I suppose. The thing Tyler said as well, which I really want to pick up on, which was Sam needing to become a leader, and now he has no one to follow. It's just him.
Yeah.
And I hope that they'll go into enough about the character development, and because WandaVision did that a lot. And don't get me wrong, I want to see lots of fights and stuff, but I also want to see Anthony Mackie, or I guess Sam, struggling with the fact that he doesn't have anyone to follow. Like the buck stops with him.
I didn't even mean it. Just kill him now, guys. Roast him in the comments.
I'm done, I quit. But also Bucky coming to terms with like the fact that Cap is gone. He's also an 85-year-old man, but in that shape in 2020, 2021, whatever. And having like maybe the identity crisis of like he was the Winter Soldier for a bit as like the villain, but now he's Bucky Barnes, still the Winter Soldier, but now a good guy, but a lot of people still think he's a terrorist.
Yeah.
Plus he's got to have like maybe not PTSD, but like an identity problem for so much of his life while he was awake. He has not been Bucky Barnes.
Yeah.
From Queens, New York, or wherever the frick it is. That's the one accent.
I think it was
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn,
you fucking idiots.
Listen, Tyler, just please, no.
Your country's not even the right way up, all right?
Exactly.
Okay, here we go. Okay.
Just let the man talk.
Yeah, so I would like to see that in the downtime that we get that character building of like both Bucky and Sam going to the am I really who I think I am, and also like should somebody else lead this? No, it's on you. Well, I don't know what to do. And how did Cap always know what the right thing to do was? Like that would be because Captain America always seems to know what the right thing is. He always seems to know what to do. But the reality of that character is he's just as lost as anyone else. He's just trying to do what he thinks is right.
It's evident by like the stuff that happens in Civil War and in fact all of his movies. Like he does the right thing that he believes is the right thing, and he doesn't waver from that. But no matter what is this is the bad side of being a superhero, is that no matter what you do, even with your good intentions, even if it is the right choice, there is going to be consequences. There's always going to be something bad that happens, and you just have to live with it.
He's also kind of naive in that way. I feel like Captain America should have been more easy to manipulate than maybe Sam, because Sam spent more time in like the real world where things are less like black and white, fighting the Nazis, you know.
Okay.
That there's like it's a big thing for Captain America to realize that the American government would do these things. Right?
I was going to say,
Go on, continue what you're gonna say first.
Well, just that, like, I mean, he gets Hydra and the Nazis and stuff, but the fact that they would have been infiltrated, or like the actual good guys are still doing things that aren't good. I think that came as a big surprise to Steve.
I was gonna say, I think the Winter Soldier was that turning point where he was easily manipulated, where fucking Hydra was growing underneath his nose, even though he's supposed to be the guy that sees all of this, along with Nick Fury and everything like that. And after that, I think it was just sort of like, okay, I'm in this world now. I get everything. I know everything's not black and white.
But it's also, but I don't think he ever trusted it when he woke up, right? Like when he woke up, what's the first thing that happened in the end of the first Avenger was he recognized the lie of the room that they'd woken him up into.
That's true.
Like with the baseball game, and he came out, and I think from that point he never trusted it. I think he was always a bit on edge with the whys and the hows, which is, you know, and he saw glimpses of it, you know, at the opening of Winter Soldier. They go on this mission to take on these with that shield carrier, and they do that rescue mission, and he comes back, he's like, what the fuck, Fury? Like, you know, Black Widow had her own mission. Like you got to tell me what's going on. And he recognized that things weren't the same as what it was when it was his time. So I don't think he ever trusted it. I think he was always, from the moment he woke up, he was unsure whether to trust it or not. And all that happened was he found out that he can't. And what you find at the end of Civil War is it's no longer about, you know, trusting in a country or believing in a country and who's good and who's bad. It's his message to and letter to Tony is he trusts in individuals, in people. And so far they haven't let him down. You know, that's what he lands on. He trusts in the good in people.
Solid.
So that's
why
what
Captain America is one of the best characters out there. It's like truly that hero's heart that you have. And I know you don't want to hear this, Tyler, but it's the damn truth. It's one of the reasons why I love Superman so much, because he has that honest hero's heart, and he will try and do the right thing like Captain America does. Things go shit wrong and stuff like that.
Except that the thing that makes Captain America a hero is he's actually at risk.
Except Superman, it always is at risk.
He's completely bulletproof, incling his eyeballs, everything
so
about him.
Never is he ever hurt.
Any power source.
He doesn't die in the last movie that he was in.
Just a boring, regular guy who shoots little hymns out of his hand.
You're talking about the comics, you bastard. Yeah, he didn't die in the last movie, so he's probably not vulnerable. No, probably not. Probably
that
not.
last movie, hated it. Not a fan.
Yeah,
as you know,
we just did a movie club on it as well. We're like, oh god, we love it. By the way, everyone, just before Falcon and Winter Soldier goes live on Friday, on Thursday, the greatest movie ever is going on. Zack Snyder's Justice League. Go watch it, guys.
Actual question. Where are we putting that?
Mate, I don't even know. One time I was like, I want to give it a big fuck you to James and Tyler and put it on their Four Pillars channel. But I don't know.
Well,
I don't know what to do.
That. One, James is smart enough to not have given us access.
Yes, that is probably that's the main thing. That's the main one.
That's the big one. And two is we're not actually doing a full movie club on that because we go over the runtime of the movie normally.
I was going to say
4 hours.
Yeah, so we'll be like 8 hours. Good, all right, guys. Treat it for 8 hour movie club.
Impressions thing, but I'm actually looking forward to a Winter Soldier to one not being quite so complicated. Okay, Tyler, tell me if you think this is fair, but I don't think this show is going to be like, you know, air quotes, as complicated as WandaVision. Like it's not going to be
for sure. Yeah,
it's going to be very much whoever's shooting at you, that's just the baddie, right?
Yeah, I agree. I agree, and there might be a twist and a turn, and I think there's going to be a lot of backstory.
Yeah, I hope so.
To our characters, like we're going to find out a lot more about Sam and his past and maybe his family and where he came from and his old wingman that died before the Winter Soldier, and we're really going to understand Sam's motivations and why he is the way he is. The same way we found out why Steve is the way he is, and why he is the right man to take up the mantle. So I think it's going to be more straightforward for sure. It's an action spy show, which is the same way that's what the Winter Soldier is.
Has more twists and turns than the Rainbow Road. You know what I mean? Like this thing. Is
I mean, fuck. You don't know. Yeah, you're right. You don't know. But I mean, I'd suspect that
There's
that's
two
the
things
case.
that I want to be
suspect
explored
that's the
in this show. Two things I desperately want to know is there, like we just said right there, Sam's backstory, because we haven't really had that much to do with it. We don't know much about him, and I bet there's a lot of interesting stuff there.
Explore Sam's back end.
I want to explore all of the stuff that's behind Sam. It's just looks like it's great.
I mean, maybe he'll be your Monica.
Yeah, maybe. You never know, right? You never know. I mean, the guy is fucking handsome, so you can't even say.
We've obviously got to talk about the gay theories, right?
We do as well. It's two dudes. They're both sweaty. They're in a heated situation. It's gonna happen.
Two men can't work together.
No, have you guys not seen how much like there's a whole stan community of LGBT that are like, this is the moment. They think that they're going to couple up, like legitimate theories.
No. Really?
There's legitimate theories that Sam and Bucky are going to get together in this, because you've never seen either of them with women, you know. So it's just
solid
like
point.
True, but
and like there was like, I remember when I watched one of the trailers on Twitter, and all the comments like, oh my god, they said they're partners, and then it's like everyone like
come on.
They specifically said colleagues, not partners, and there was never like, come on Sam, we promised ourselves not at work. Like, it was none of that shit. It was like, don't say partners, but have his colleagues. Also, I couldn't care less if they're gay or like involved. It matters literally zero to the storyline. I just want to see two ripped dudes fight guys with guns.
The most interesting thing about that theory is the people really seeing what they want to see and pulling it out. That's the most interesting part there. And you know what? If it turns out, I'm going to be interested in how they get there. I want to see how they manage to weave it in.
I mean, also, this is a really well-known theory. Of course, Steve Rogers, also gay. Him and Red Skull totally involved, and the reason they're enemies, you know,
sexual tension,
or like it was a will they, weren't they, then they did, and then they broke up, and it was a nasty breakup.
Exactly.
That's why, right? And then World War II happened. So
exactly.
Yeah.
He was a big fan of The Matrix, and then he was like, "I really love you," and wanted.
I prefer Matrix 3. Let's watch it together.
Oh no!
Right, exactly. You know.
The other thing that I'm looking forward to, other than the backstory of Sam and his partner and stuff like that, which is going to be so cool to find out about. You turn everything gay. I'm trying to have a serious conversation here. I also want to know how Bucky is going to handle this, because the rumor is that we're going to see the funeral of Captain America. Very early on. I mean, it's okay to do that, because I mean, he was an old man in the last movie.
I think it'll be the opening scene.
I think so too. I
kind of hope so. It's a good place to start, because you need a clean break for Sam to pick up the mantle. If Steve Rogers is still around. Also, how can he lead? How can he lead if one of his best friends, a mentor, and a guy with immense experience doing the hero thing is still around and bored?
It's too much.
Just phone him up, Steve. I got this problem. What should I do? Where are your nose?
And also, seeing a hero struggle, not being able to do what his predecessor could, and not being able to contact that predecessor is another like struggle that's really cool in movies and stuff like that. I want to see how he handles things, Bucky handles things, because while we have seen some scenes where they're like, okay, we know they're good friends, we know they were apart for a while, then they got back together and there was this tension, but then they got back together, and there's these flashbacks we get. It's like, I'm with you to the end of the line. I want to see more about that as well. Like, how is he reacting? How is he adjusting to losing his lifelong friend? That's going to be a big thing, I think.
This is small and really, really specific, but I would love to see Bucky dealing with some guilt, because when Steve became Cap, when he got the superpowers, and Bucky was no longer like the strong, tall, muscular friend, like the hero friend of their duo, it was very clear that he resented him. To a point, like a little bit. Like, if you never, do you know,
I didn't get that feeling.
Yeah, it's super. It's more in glances and stuff, but you can see that when Bucky's looking at Cap, you know, like when he's taking.
Do you mean in the very first movie?
Well, it certainly takes adjustments. I think less than it is like him jealous. I think it's just like, pecs. Right, that's.
And you do see him in the movies like come to terms with it, but I would like to see. I would like for us to be reminded that he's known Steve since he was that weakling with the bin lid, you know.
I agree.
With his like, okay, he was the protector, then he was jealous of him, then they were equals, then they were enemies, and then they were just friends. And I want to see that growth for him, because I think it's really easy to overlook Bucky with Sam being there, because Sam has all the qualities that you need, which is he's at risk. He's a regular guy. Do you know what I mean? I think it'd be very easy to overlook Bucky because he can just be the guy with the superpowers. You know, the vibranium arm and super soldier serum.
Yeah.
So that's what I would like to see, because I think the only way to dive into Bucky more is you've got to go back. Whereas Sam, we want to see him going forward, not filling the shoes of Cap, and then realizing he's not supposed to. He's supposed to be a different guy. You know, that's what I would like.
So, quick question.
Quick, yeah.
Well, it never is quick with us, to be honest. Question: how does the Captain America shield work?
Yes.
Because
what do you mean by that?
At the beginning of the trailer, we saw Sam testing out the shield, testing out being Captain America, throwing it.
I don't think it's testing. I think he's training.
He's practicing.
Well, he's testing. Well, he's trying out the shield, isn't it? That's what testing or trying. You know, where's semantics? Shut the fuck up, Tyler.
Well,
okay?
well testing and training is like
up.
he's like, oh, this is my first time trying. It looks anymore. What it looks like.
Shut up.
What it
Just
looks
shut up.
like.
I'm muting him. Okay, fuck
What
it.
it looks like is that he's been practicing with it for a long time.
Yeah.
Tyler,
like
just
months.
shut the fuck up.
He's
That's
been
what people
spending
wanna
months
hear,
working
okay?
on these moves and getting the angles right when he throws it to know where it's going to bounce to.
Well, that's the thing
and
I
come
wanted
back
to ask.
and flipping and shit. Like a training montage is what I want to see.
Yeah, we need
Because
you know,
it's his moves in the final trailer in the beginning. Clearly, after a lot of work and like dedication to try and get things right, it looks identical to Captain America's moves.
Copying Steve, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, like, in terms of it can bounce off of multiple surfaces, he can nail it, he can catch it again and stuff like that. And it's like, okay, but we understood why Captain America can do that because he's a fucking super soldier.
Yeah.
Sam, not so much. But it seems to be that he can just do the identical stuff. Is it the properties of the shield that allows him to do that? Or is it that maybe something he's also been tested?
Well-trained soldier and like a physical specimen as a human being.
I mean, he is a physical specimen. I've seen him in other movies as well.
If he grows out the afro.
You really love afros, yeah.
It turns out that's the thing for me.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with him, like, even though it's as unbelievable as it is, but it's Marvel, okay, cool.
Yeah.
He can throw the shield and it bounces off and it goes where he wants it to go.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. The catching it, though, that's the bit where I feel like we kind of need to be a super soldier here to get a full speed vibranium shield coming at you, which can, like, knock out Thanos.
Yeah.
That needs maybe special gloves, something from Stark Industries to allow him to catch it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because that thing's going to be coming at speed, and it's basically a blade. If it's,
I mean, I think that's when we start suspending disbelief.
No.
This is the.
I feel like at some point it's a superhero show. You know what I mean?
But fine, I'm down with that. But he's not super, unless he is. Like, are we going to make him super? Somewhat?
Yeah,
like
that's what I was.
Microdose?
That's what I was alluding to. Do you think that maybe there's anything that's happened in the background to make it seem like
We need
he's?
to see it.
Yeah.
If he gets dosed, like, even what's up?
No, you keep talking. Keep talking.
Oh God! Did the camera?
Keep talking.
Oh God! The camera went dead.
I said, keep talking. Do
I'm
you
going.
understand
I'm going.
that?
I'm just talking. I'm talking. Our brand new character
God.
went dead. All this hard work
about the show.
Sake.
Oh God! Oh God! Look, if he gets dosed with like a small super soldier serum, like I think Nick Fury has a half dose or something, we need to see it because he can't just suddenly be doing 10-foot backflips without any explanation for.
Well, let's just not forget the fact that he's been an Avenger for like 5 years, like. But even before the fact that he was a soldier before, a highly trained special ops soldier that flew a wingsuit, like a secret wingsuit. He was obviously
cool.
like one of the highest level soldiers there was, and pilots to be given the responsibility of a secret weapon, and then he spent 5 years as an Avenger, like. So he's obviously pretty well fucking trained, with being super enough as a person. Because let's not forget, Hawkeye, Black Widow, not super.
Okay, I want to talk about this because we're coming into phase 3, right? So we'll have Avengers. There's people like Scarlet Witch, literally a goddess. Literally, she can create stuff. Well, like all women can make something out of nothing, but
she's a witch. She's a witch. And I know what you're saying, there, Sheps. I'm going to not acknowledge it.
I'm pretty sick of just having some guy as your thing. Don't get me wrong, Hawkeye's way better with a sword and a freaking katana and a bow and arrow than I am, but he is ultimately some guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Widow, incredible with the psyop stuff. Ultimately, some chick with guns.
But they never put them out of a realistic element, though, do they?
Well, like
in my
fighting
opinion,
an entire army against a god in the first Avengers.
entire army against the god. Do
Loki's
you mean like those?
army,
So those like
aliens.
aliens when they come in like hand-to-hand combat.
Right, yeah. Or like Black Widow literally fighting a chick that soloed Vision hand to hand before
Who
she then
did she
kicks.
fight?
She fights one of the weird Thanos creatures that beefed out Vision.
Yeah, I think
Yeah,
they surprised her, but yeah, I get what you mean. It's a little bit thing. Yeah.
Right. I would like to see our people be super. Now, I'll give it to Falcon because he's actually flying. That's kind of a super thing, and he'll have, he adds a level of stuff, but like I don't care for. I hate to say.
Do you know what? There's two things are going on here.
Yeah. Okay.
I think Tyler is a little bit too far on the I'm just going to believe it because it's characters that I love and it's an IP that I love.
Right.
And you're too far in the opposite direction where you're like, I want to be more realistic. This doesn't make
Hawkeye
sense.
Jumps down from saying I want him to sprain an ankle.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think we need to meet in the middle, guys.
Right,
we need to be like, okay, suspend a little bit of disbelief, but also try and make it cool and realistic because end of the day, especially in terms of like when it comes to a Captain America movie or Falcon and Winter Soldier, these are supposed to be real people other than not like Wanda, not like the other superpowered beings. These are supposed to be more like real people with just cool gadgets. So we need to, and that is a cool story that could be told as well. So I think we need to find a little bit in the middle, and maybe I need to suspend disbelief in terms of the how is he throwing the shield? Is it the shield or is it him? Like maybe it's a bit more like what Tyler said. He's a trained soldier and stuff like that.
Right.
So I think we need to meet in the middle.
Maybe here comes I'm just going to throw something out that would definitely be true. The shield is an Infinity Stone.
That's
and it's
it.
linked somehow
Done.
to Sam.
That's
Boom.
our first. That's our
Confirmed.
second theory.
Well,
Confirmed.
Shut the fuck up, Tyler.
The most ridiculous thing I can think of, that will be true. There you go. There you go. You're
There you
welcome.
go. There we go. That's nothing. That's not as just as ridiculous as anything you've said ever, Tyler.
It's
so
true.
You can
Do
shut
the
up
worst
right
thing
there.
is you had even more ridiculous theories and they were 100% right, and it that burns me up.
There's a reason why the hashtag has gone round. Eddie is always right and Sheps is wrong. There's a reason why those hashtags
I hate
exist.
it, and they're accurate, and I hate it. I hate it.
Oh god, guys.
Let me ask you, Tyler. I'm genuinely curious. If you were going to write this show, what do you put in? Like villains or plot twists or like things that need to be overcome, whether they're people or personal or villains or anything.
It's an interesting one.
What do you put in? And also, when do you put Nick Fury in? Because where the frick is Nick Fury? I need to see Nick Fury. He's one of my favorite characters.
he's
Where
in
is-
space, so you're not seeing him.
Yeah,
yet.
of course
Let's
I've
just be
seen.
honest
But
with
when
ourselves.
do we get the scene? I need me some motherfucking Samuel L. Jackson.
Listen, he fought
Yeah.
a cat. Don't ask him any
He
questions.
lost a fight to a cat.
He did
in
lose a fight
fairness.
to a cat. Yeah, that's right. It's true.
We don't talk about this movie.
Go ahead, Tyler.
If it was me, a lot of my focus I'd make it very grounded. I would the elements you'd want to mix in, and it's what I think they're doing is you keep it like Civil War was like half a Captain America movie, half an Avengers movie.
Yeah.
So I don't use Civil War as an example as like a good Captain America movie. Winter Soldier's that. So you take that tone of the Winter Soldier and but you focus on two characters that are quite humorous together. Like there's a very comical dynamic between Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan, between Buck and Sam. So that adds a new layer of it, right?
For sure.
So there is that sort of buddy cop side to it. But I'd want to keep it grounded. I'd want to keep it. It's about the people. That's what Captain America is about. It's about people. It's about individuals. So it needs to be about that. And that comes with the villains as well. Like look at Zemo. Like he has no superpowers, but he's one of my favorite villains in all the MCU, just because he's a person with his own motivations that pushed him to do incredible things, incredibly bad things, but incredible things nonetheless. And that's what it looks like here. You're also dealing with post-snap world as well.
Yeah.
So you can't forget that. So there's a big thing, it's the groundedness of the world in the sense of, okay, how does the world, in terms of governments, in terms of military, move on in a grounded way after the snap, like on that sort of geopolitical stage. And that's what you want the background to be focusing on. And then the deep stuff is our two main characters and their backgrounds. Yeah. You've got Buck, who's dealing with, the guilt of being the Winter Soldier for decades. And it's his arc needs to be that of redemption. He needs to be able to forgive himself and live in this world because he can't go back the way Steve did. Like, he has to just live in the now and find his place as Bucky Barnes now, as a good person.
Yeah.
And be able to forgive himself is what needs to happen in this show for Buck. And then you've got Sam, who needs to find himself as what Steve saw him as, what Steve saw that he could be, which is the symbol as the leading man, as the next Captain America.
Yeah.
So that's what my focus is on, and you use your Zemos, who's taking advantage of the snap, post-snap world, and same with whoever these other villains are. And then you've got US Agent, who's clearly this government-controlled bad guy. But I think there's still going to be it's going to be very clear that the government isn't always just because the US government. There's good and there's bad, and that's why you've got Sharon Carter, who's a government agent spy, but she's going to be working for the right reasons, and she'll be a good guy, and that's why she'll help Sam and Buck and all that. So it's just focused on the individuals, focused on the people, focused on not everything's black and white. There's a lot of shades of grey. That's what Winter Soldier gave us, and I want to see that. If I'm running the show, it's on that. So there's villains, but there's and they have their own reasons, and I want to understand their motivations and why they're doing what they're doing. But I don't need there to be these big plot twists. I don't need that.
Yeah, I totally agree.
There needs to be plot twists the same way there was, you find out Hydra, S.H.I.E.L.D. is Hydra. That's a huge plot twist. That's a big moment. Yeah. Like, to set it up in the story that there is a big plot twist that happens in the story, but I don't need there to be like, oh, surprise, this character shows up and, aliens arrive and there's Gandalf. It's just like, it just needs to be grounded in what it is, and the plot twists need to be grounded in the story as well. So that's what I want to see. And there is going to be some characters, I'm sure, that pop up that we didn't expect. I mean, we already know Rhodey's going to be in the show, one of the episodes. So
No,
I wonder when that'll be.
It's good that you brought up Zemo, because I think we said this about Batman vs Superman. One of the things that makes Batman so interesting when he faces off against Superman, and then Superman's real big bad, who's Lex Luthor, is they're just, well, apart from being billionaires, humans, right? They're regular people, right? Yeah. And I think there is something to be said for a villain who is just a really determined person. Because what are they? The truest form of an anti-hero, like an anti-hero, right? The exact opposite of heroes. What makes Steve Rogers or Superman or Tony a hero is not the special suit or the special powers. Yeah. It's the running towards danger no matter what, even if there's kryptonite around and you're a regular person, even if the suit's damaged, even if you're a tiny skinny little dude, right? You're doing the right thing because it's the thing that needs to be done.
It's why people liked Thanos so much as a villain. Like, it was, okay, he's a giant titan, he has all the Infinity Stones, and that's cool and everything, but people were like, okay, I kind of get why he's doing this, and his point isn't for super reasons, it's for the good of everybody in the universe.
At least he believes it, yeah.
Exactly, and it was like, okay, there's a reason for this. It's not malicious, it's not angry, it's not evil genius. It's like, okay, I think it's going to be a better universe, and that's something that anyone can relate to and stuff like that.
And he does it despite it not being necessarily the best thing for him. Yeah. Right? He does it because he thinks it's the right thing. Yeah. Which is one of the really good villains shouldn't just be evil. Really good villains should think they're right, and they should have a really compelling argument for how they got there, despite it obviously not being like right, not being correct. But they should believe in their cause, and you should believe that they at least are honest, even though they're evil, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you. I like Tyler's thought process there. There's a lot of really cool things. If that was in the show, I'd be down to watch all of that shit.
Yeah. It's just a pity there's no other good opinions.
Exactly. It's really not that great. Really not that great. Anything else, really?
It's the only thing I know about.
Only thing. He sits there all day. His missus as well. She's like, can we just not talk about Captain America for 5 fucking seconds?
Well, hold on. Let me just read you.
Even she's like, shut up, Tyler.
Sam and Bucky fan fiction I wrote. He is all of those theories in it, just standing there.
He's like, so Bucky and Sam, so they have a tender moment together. They look at each other deeply, and then they're just like, hey, do you just try something out? Can I try something out? He plants one on him. There you go.
You got something on your lip.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Oh no! Oh god, this is getting too real. When you did the visual aids, I was like, okay, that's too much for me.
He visually gave everyone AIDS.
God. This show is descending into madness.
I know it's because we have nothing to discuss.
I have one thing. Could I have my thoughts on how I think some of this is going to go through?
Absolutely, because this is how the show's going to go. If I've learned anything, so just
guys,
to be clear,
get ready.
You're not 100% on the Shield actually being an Infinity Stone and Bucky being an android. Where do you stand on those? I'm
not really. Yeah, I'm a hit or miss. You know,
yeah.
I'm not fully on that boat just yet.
Okay,
so
cool.
I'll give you my one.
Let's hear your bullshit, awful theories that are going to be 100% accurate.
Again, I'm like Tyler. I think it's going to be more grounded, like he said and whatnot. I think
the
that's
phrase you both use, grounded. It's about a guy that flies.
Yeah, that's true. We
shit. Do you think he's going to have his wings taken away from him early on, and that's part of like the redemption arc?
There you go. That's it.
Shit, see, you're a genius.
Genius. There you go, guys.
Not Tyler who said it like 20 minutes ago. You're the genius.
That's it. I think it's going to be a grounded show. It's going to be a lot more realistic. There's going to be less of the like magic and stuff like that. It's going to be a bit more cool, and that's a good thing. I think it'll be a nice contrast when it comes from WandaVision.
Yeah.
I think it will be like in the beginning where he's like training with the Shield, like Tyler said, where it'll be taken away from him and he'll be forced to just do good on his own way. But I think then he'll discover, Sam and Bucky will both discover like a subplot, and it will somehow tie into this US agent, the one that's impersonating, pretending to be the next, like put in place to be the
Bucky.
next the person that's being put in place to be the next Captain America, the idol for America and stuff like that. I'm getting obviously Hydra vibes, but I don't think there's going to be a Hydra. I think it's going to be that kind of esque thing. But it's going to be too simple to say, okay, now Sword is going to be another thing that's basically Hydra underneath or something like that. Because that's been done before. It's not going to be done again. I don't know what it will be. Tyler's obviously a lot more versed in the lore of Captain America. So when he comes with the villains that he's mentioned, I want to defer to his judgment there. But I think it's going to be more of a story on their relationship, what they're going through, the struggles they're going through internally in terms of losing Captain, and the subplot in the back would just be how America's going to be like trying to be forced into this dictatorship almost, but it's dictatorship of freedom. And you know, when you say freedom to anyone in America, they're like, yes, it doesn't matter if it's not freedom, it's forced freedom, but it's freedom. It's a very specific kind of freedom, but because it says freedom in the name, we're gonna go with it, guys. We're gonna go with it. That's how America is. I think that's gonna be the secondary thing, but mainly it's gonna be their relationship and how they're building up and recovering from the loss of Captain. I think that's gonna be the main thing for me. Yeah. Does that sound at all interesting to you, Tyler? Would you watch a show that I pitched?
Yeah, no, of course. I mean, that's the sort of thing I'm looking for. I'm not looking for. I mean, I don't know. I didn't pay much attention to the reactions to WandaVision, but were people upset with the end of WandaVision?
They were largely okay.
Yeah, we liked it.
There was some bits that were just like we were on the edge. It was like, okay, it was 10 out of 10 show, but this final little execution of like 2 things bumped it off maybe 1 or 2 points.
Yeah.
So the Evan Peters thing that came out where everyone was like,
atrocious.
Oh my god, this is gonna set up the multiverse, and they've now got the license to Fox. Maybe this is how they're introducing X-Men. This is great.
Yeah.
And then it turned out he was just a dick joke.
Yeah.
It was like, that was pretty shitty, and everyone widely disagreed that was... widely agreed that was terrible.
Yeah, that alone took that show from a 10 to an 8 for me. That was Game of Thrones season 8 level awful. That was atrocious.
And there were some people that felt like it wasn't enough of a setup / resolution to what White Vision was or what's going to happen to the future of WandaVision. I felt like it was perfect.
I agree.
It was enough for me to
So
go.
do I.
I was like, oh, this is great. I know something is coming, but I don't know enough to say.
Right.
I've got some wild theories that goes mad.
So
but
wild theories, they'll be 100% true.
Exactly. Like we had our theories about the Mephisto thing. We're like, yes, this is cool. So I'm totally looking forward to the next thing. But there were some people that said, I wish we knew what happened with White Vision. I wish we knew what happened with this. But
that's what's for later. Like I think for me, I loved it. Like I thought it was near perfect at the end. I'm like, people were thinking there was going to be Doctor Strange, like fucking ridiculous shit at the end of the show. I'm like, it's what, like they've been so spoilt with Endgame being like the main recent one where everyone's in it. It's like, this is a TV show on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
You know, you're lucky to get what you got, and it was tremendous.
It was amazing.
And it comes the same with Falcon Winter Soldier here. It's like, I don't want or expect, you're not going to see fucking, you know what I mean, Captain America show up at the end as Chris Evans. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be about these two characters. And it's not going to wrap up their lives in the MCU either.
Yeah.
Like, this will have its own story, and they will still exist, and there'll be more stories to be told with them after the fact, whether it's a season 2 of Falcon Winter Soldier, which I think one of the writers is like, oh, there's still more to do. And I'm like, well, yeah, but I think Kevin Feige's probably not telling you all his plans. You're just a writer on the TV show. I think Kevin Feige probably wants to do a Captain America 4, and your show is setting that up, and it's going to be a film rather than a show.
Yeah.
This show sets up the movie the same way I'd love to see a Scarlet Witch movie after WandaVision. You know what I mean? Like, it sort of sets that up and sets the precedent for that to happen, and you know, the investment in that character. And that's when you're going to see White Vision come back, and you're going to see those things happen. There's going to be follow-ups to these characters. It's not the last we've seen of Scarlet Witch. It's not the last we've seen of Vision, and it's not this is not going to be the last we see of Sam and Buck, and that's what people need to understand. And to just touch on your point about Evan Peters, I think I didn't care about that at all because I fucking hate X-Men and all the Fox properties. So I was like, I actually sitting there like, please don't. I don't want the multiverse. I want the multiverse to exist, but I don't want anything that Fox did to exist in it.
Oh, I see.
Like, I want it to be like brand new, their own multiverse. Like, I don't.
Logan.
So when he showed up, I was like, I was like, that's cool. It's a cool little thing, but I actually don't want that to be a thing. So when it wasn't, I was like, okay, good. It's a cool little teaser. Like, it's a fan nod, but it's not a real multiverse thing, and I'm happy with that. So I was actually relieved that was the case, because I think the X-Men movies suck ass. other than Logan and the first X-Men movie, they all suck.
Yeah,
and I don't want anything to do with them.
Pretty much the truth.
Are you telling me that Fox has not made such masterpieces as X-Men Origins, the
Fantastic Four,
multiple Fantastic Fours,
all of them were great,
all of them incredible. You know, 6 incredible Spider-Man movies with not a single plot hole or
terrible
reimagining of just really well established characters.
Tell you what was nobody, I think, expected the X-Men universe, or at least any of the characters from the X-Men universe, to come into the MCU. Yeah. We all assumed it was going to be brand new because that's what Disney does. They got a brand new thing. They got their own flavor and everything.
Exactly. Especially because that universe wrapped up as well.
Exactly.
And unless you have, you know, Hugh Jackman, which you don't, what's the point of bringing anything back from that shit?
Yeah.
You know?
It's going to be hard to cast Wolverine, by the way. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I'm sure they can do it, though. They've done it before. But what it was the combination of seeing a familiar face, and the fact that Quicksilver, the character, has been done dirty so many times. In the MCU, died straight away. We barely got to see anything. And even in the Fox universe, he's really underutilized. And when we saw, I think that was probably the best version of Quicksilver we've ever seen, like the movement and the look and everything, the artistry. When people saw it, they were like, yes, we can at least get this back and it'll be great. And it went from having no Marvel shows and no MCU or anything like that to 100% foot down on the throttle. And I think everyone just got really out of control, went all out with it. They were like, we're going to get this, we're going to get that. And then we ultimately disappointed ourselves.
I'm going to say, picking the Peter Evans version Evan Peters, that's right, of Quicksilver, and bringing him back was not like our nod or any stuff. That was a lie.
It was.
We were straight up lied to. It wasn't. First of all, it wasn't like it was a joke. It wasn't funny. It was a dick joke. It wasn't any good. But I can forgive a bad joke, like a joke that just doesn't land. Like,
we tell them all the time.
Excuse me, we're comic geniuses.
We've got Tyler on the biggest bad joke.
Exactly. I was going to do something. But like,
It's true.
a bad joke or a joke that doesn't land, like, okay, I can look past that. But it was a lie.
Yeah.
They specifically picked him to play a specific role.
That's it.
And because they even made the comment, she recast Pietro.
Yeah.
Like,
if he was just a random character
Right.
or a different superhero, cool. But they got him to play his character.
yeah.
And it was like,
It wasn't a
so
nod
you're
to the
setting
other
something
end.
up,
Yeah,
but they weren't.
It was a lie, and that is a problem for me. I'm curious though what you think, or if you think they'll do many of the like nods to the rest of the show. Like WandaVision was full of nods. Like
Yeah. Doctor Strange right at the end.
Doctor Strange right at the end. The book. I mean, I know it's in the WandaVision, the Scarlet Witch stuff, but there were things like little things like tie-ins with Vision, like, oh, I got something to tell you, and then, well, what was that thing? It was the house, and that in the show there was the love heart on the calendar, and there was a love heart on the note. Oh my god, that
Don't
hurts.
say it. My heart's hurting already. Don't
Like-
say it. Don't say it.
There were a ton of nods to everything, like Monica knew Oh no, she didn't know anyone at the aerospace industry. Never mind.
No, she didn't know nobody.
But like the show had tons of nods to the MCU, had tons of nods to the characters' previous interactions with stuff, and I'm curious if we think we're going to get those types. I know we'll see their history, but like, what will the tie-ins be? Do we think they're going to continue to set up like another angle in towards the Mephisto thing? Will we see like on the news about Westview, New York or New Jersey, wherever it is? Like, are we going to see it tying into the other shows? What do we think?
I think it'll be light. I think we might see a thing like a random news thing saying, "Oh, this has been happening in New Jersey," something like that.
Unexpected disappearance in New Jersey.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be anything more than that. I think the way that they space things out in terms of phase 1, phase 2, and how they gradually built up something big, it was very much its own thing, its own entity with little sprinklings of stuff going through. And I think they did that in WandaVision as well, with like just how tiny sprinklings of Doctor Strange we got there, and tiny sprinklings of shield, sword and stuff like that, the surrounding MCU characters and stuff like that. I think it's going to be very light, and I like it that way actually. Not to have like, I don't want them to be directly going, so did you hear about this huge shit that happened over in Westview or something like that? I think it's a bit too much.
I mean, or maybe like an agent in the back, like, oh yeah, I got to go to New Jersey, there's something.
Yeah. What we need is Jimmy Woo back.
Well, don't forget the fact that this was supposed to come out first. There was the Black Widow movie, and then it was going to be this.
Oh, yeah.
This was going to be the first real current thing that happened after Endgame. So you had Spider-Man, obviously, and that sort of followed up from Endgame with what happened from Tony Stark's side of the story, and then Peter's side of the story, and now this is leading on from this second main. One of the two main characters of the last generation of the MCU, which is Cap, and this is what happened to his side of the story. So that was supposed to be what's next, and it's going to be grounded in that the same way I think Spider-Man was grounded in a Spider-Man story, but like tying back to what came before it, and that's what this will be. It'll tie back to what came before it, not necessarily what's coming next, because we're starting anew now, and it needs to be a slow burn back to anyone reconnecting and joining, because we built to Endgame. We didn't just get Endgame out of the blue. They didn't just release fucking Avengers without any backstory or any build up right? Exactly.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do what DC do and just fucking release Justice League like a bunch of idiots.
I was smiling to the camera just before, because I was like, I think I know where this is going, guys.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like they slow built everything for years and years and years and years, and did Avengers and did a few tie-ins, but ultimately it led to Endgame, where everyone's in it and everyone's together. You can't just do that whenever you want. It's got to be special. So you've got to just remind us in everything they release for the next 2 years that, hey, look, when you're watching a Thor movie, you're just going to see Thor. When you're watching Falcon Winter Soldier, you're going to see Falcon Winter Soldier. When you're watching Scarlet Witch, you're going to see Scarlet Witch. And that's it. There'll be a couple of little things, like Scarlet Witch is going to be in Doctor Strange, but they've announced that beforehand. You know what I mean? They're trying to manage your expectations because they know what people are now hoping for. And it's like, hey, look, you're not going to get that for a while. We'll get it again. Yeah. They've already said there's another, team up movie they're going to do. Yeah, they're just not sure when they're going to do it.
Yeah.
And they even said there'll probably be another Avengers movie down the line. But that might not be for like 4 or 5 more years. Yeah. Like, let's slow burn to it again. And you've got to slow burn to it even more so because there's so many properties now that you've got to tell enough stories with all of them. It's not just, okay, we release one movie a year and one's Captain America, one's Iron Man, one's Thor, and then we do Avengers. It's like we've got like 10 shows and movies per year, and they all need their own time to breathe. Yeah. And then we need half of them to show up in this Earth team-up movie, and then we need the other half to show up in this space team-up movie. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, in this movie, we're going to see Thor and the Guardians and Captain Marvel and Monica Rambeau and all these, and Sword and stuff. They're all going to be in their space movie. And then we've got to have, like, this Earth team-up movie where it's Cap and Spider-Man and Bucky and sure. and even Doctor Strange and Scarlet Witch and a few the Earth threats and then the space threats. So they've got to be separate.
And more than that, you've got a serious act to follow, like Tony Stark. And the Steve Rogers Captain America. Like it's not gonna go well if you're like, hey, we've replaced everybody, here they are, because your only real, like, quote unquote real superheroes are like Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, right? That's not an Avengers team. We need more. They obviously have decided that Hulk needs to be deleted,
and you've got no Black Panther either. You've got no Black Panther.
That's true, and I think
as well.
Don't forget to recast that anytime in the next.
Are they actually recasting?
I don't know, but I think they're gonna. Black Panther is.
Well, they're filming Black Panther 2 in the middle of this year.
That's a terrible decision. Terrible.
Like 23.
Yeah, no, but they're filming it this year. They're starting filming this year.
I thought they were going to start filming in 23 because, one, Black Panther is an incredible hero, so freaking great.
Yeah. I trust the writers to do something decent with it, but I can't imagine how you do anything.
It's a great play, like, financially, because he's a brilliant hero. He like naturally keeps your whole audience, and then gets another demographic in, which is people that like don't really care to see superheroes, but then you have a specifically African hero, which is a whole new demographic of people that would be interested, who weren't before. So it's a great business move. The problem is you had the actual perfect casting, who then tragically died in real life. Like, it's too soon, in my opinion.
Well, they're not gonna recast the character.
Well, how can Black Panther without T'Challa?
Well, they're going to have to give the mantle of Black Panther to one of the other characters. That's what's
come with the story thing, hopefully, right? That's what you think they would do. They're not dumb enough.
Oh, yeah, no, 100%. There's no way they recast T'Challa.
Cool.
In the movie, T'Challa
will agreeing on different lanes.
No, I was in both of your camps.
I think T'Challa's going to die, like, obviously in the movie, as in they'll, like, when we start off, like, T'Challa has died.
Maybe he freezes.
And they'll honor him,
never freezes.
And it'll be a movie about honoring T'Challa with all the characters that are involved in his world, and then one of them, whether it's, it could even be a sister, or someone else that has to take up that mantle of the Black Panther, and that's what's going to happen.
It's going to be interesting to see. We have been talking for a while here. I feel like we've covered a lot of good bases, and we've got our hype levels so firmly up. Tyler's hype levels has been very firmly up, in the upright position for a very long time now. He's been
for sure. My dick is hard. You can't see it, but
he came out and said it straight away. I love it. I love his boldness right there. I will say one thing. I've just been watching back to back the final trailer over and over again on my laptop over here.
It's the best trailer of the whole fucking marketing. Really is this last one? Holy
really
shit!
Good. I've noticed as well, Falcon's new suit that he's got. It's like white trimmings, and it's got the red little sort of like V-ish sort of neck going on right here. In the center of his chest is an upside down star. Basically, the opposite of Captain America's like white star that he has up like that. It's upside down. I think they're trying to get the imagery in your head straight away.
So you don't think casting Mr. White and then Mr. Black, that's not enough of this is a different guy.
No. I'm saying they're getting the imagery in your head of being like Captain America, like the star in the center of the chest. That like Captain America has a white star there, and this one's sort of like an upside down red one. So I'm saying they're trying to get the imagery going from
You know
now.
how before you were saying me and Tyler look too much at stuff, and we were being way too specific.
It
I
could
think
be
the difference of being Anthony Mackie and whatever the frick Steve Rogers. What is his name? Chris Evans. I think they're different enough to let you know that. This
Do you
is
think
different.
I'm saying I'm trying to get them to be different?
Yeah. Why would you?
I'm trying to say they're trying to draw the similarity, bring
He's
the two
literally being
closer
called
together.
Captain America.
He's not being. Okay, just forget that. Tyler, do you understand what I'm trying to say with the?
I understand what you're
Okay.
saying.
Just forget this idiot
cool.
over here. Just
I
forget
guess
him.
I'm just on a complete like.
I think
I
we're in a
always
different
do.
area.
I always forget Sheps is here.
Anyway, guys, thank you for joining us for another episode of Streamcast.
Yeah.
We will see you guys next week for the first episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. I know you guys
Don't
tune
worry.
in
Yeah, you
all
will.
the time.
You're not crazy. We were actually talking to a third person, but unfortunately that audio file got deleted.
Yeah, unfortunately,
It was one of
yeah.
those weird post things.
The moments of
see what's
silence,
happening,
they were unfortunate, but that's
there's nothing you can do about
trust
it.
me, it's better with the silence rather than what the
Yeah.
stupid. Wait, hello, mate. How you doing? Hey, man, and all that sort of stuff. Like you don't want to hear any of that crap.
God.
Thank you, Tyler, for joining us for this episode, bro.
Always. I'm here for the long haul. I'm here for the long haul with this show.
I was
I'm
gonna
here
say-
to fucking take over.
You can't take over the flagship show. You've got your own terrible show
We're
to drag
keeping
down
this-
over there. The
yeah.
Four Pillars podcast.
Multiple terrible shows.
Multiple terrible
Yeah.
shows.
Many.
Should we say about how you'll be joining us, Tyler? Should we let people
Yeah,
know?
I mean, if you guys are happy to record at this time for the next 6 weeks, I'll be
Yes.
here every week.
So we have a schedule. Unfortunately, it's very tight with work and
Yeah.
stuff that we do because we do have other things in our lives that unfortunately
yeah.
we're not big YouTubers. I don't know if you know about that yet. But we have to record every other week. We record at this time, which is convenient for Tyler.
Yeah.
And those ones are locked in. Tyler's going to be with us, and we'll get to watch it, which happens to fall on the finale being at this time. So he'll be definitely here for the finale.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And we'll try and work out ones in between. We'll see what we can do about that.
Yeah.
But
Well,
every
even
other
if we
episode-
can just do, I'd like to do next week if you guys would be able to do the first episode,
Hey, we'll
That'd
make it
be
work
cool.
for you.
Yeah,
We'll
we
make
can
it
do
work
that.
for you.
and then maybe I'll miss two other episodes. I'll miss episode 3 and 5 or something. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah,
we'll work
we'd like to not have you too much on the
Yeah,
channel.
please.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. But I'll be here a lot. I'll be here a lot
Our show,
through this
yeah.
show because this is, it's my this
This is your baby.
is my
And
baby.
A little bit of me wants this show to suck because I know no matter what, he'll watch the whole thing and just hearing that salt. We could just start being salt miners with that amount of salt just pouring out.
Do you know
Tyler.
what? It would be it would be
Except I love
pure
the character.
justice.
I don't want it, but if ever it was going to happen,
And let's be honest.
now
Let's
he's
be
committed
honest.
to being on the show. Yeah.
This isn't going to be a bad show. This is going to be a 10 out of 10 fucking show, isn't it? You can tell
better
already.
be. It better be. I will be really upset if it's not.
Exactly. Anyway, thank you, Tyler, for joining us. Thank you guys at home for watching another episode of Streamcast. We'll catch you guys in next week. And bro, thank you for joining me.
Yeah.
Another episode right here. Catch you later, boys.
Wait, was Sheps here? Oh shit!
Oh,
This freaking cunt. I swear.
the burn. Someone get the burn unit.
Mate, next time I hope your power does go out.
Yeah. Well, it was an issue. Fucking hell.
Those huntsman
hell.
spiders got in the fuse box again. God damn it. It's
That's
terrible,
it.
isn't
It happens. It happens to the best of us.
All right, let's kick it off then.
See you guys.